have plenty of time to cover everyone's questions. And I think both Karen and I can help all of you with all of the different topics. And certainly we've got all of our Next Genius team here to help as well. So I am going to share my screen. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I am Alice. I am from Transylvania University, which is in Lexington, Kentucky. And I'm going to help you understand this terminology about good fit. And I am sure that you have heard this before. You've heard it from us. You've heard it from Next Genius. You've probably heard it from school counselors. But it's a very specific phrase that we like to use in U.S. university admissions. So here we go. So good fit is something that you need to think about as you're looking at universities worldwide, wherever you're looking. And it has to involve questions about yourself. As you look at different universities, just keep asking, does this sound like me? Is this a good fit for me? Will I be comfortable there? You are the one who's going to be spending 4 years at that institution. So it really does come down to how you feel about the university. And it is so difficult to try to figure that out sometimes virtually. But again, as Karen said, you always have someone like Karen or like me at the university that can help you with those questions. So make sure you reach out when you can. While you are doing your homework to decide if we are a good fit for you, we're doing our homework to decide if you are a good fit for us. We definitely ask you for many different pieces of your application so that we can see you as an entire individual. We are not just, as Karen said, about test scores or about your GPA. We want to know what kind of space you're going to be taking up on our campus. So that's what we think about when we are thinking about what's a good fit student for us. So questions to ask yourself to determine what your good fit school is basically, what are you looking for the next 4 years? What do you picture yourself doing? What experience do you picture yourself having? So of course, one of the primary questions is, does the university have academic programs you're interested in? Well, the confusing thing with US universities is that we might have similar programs, but we can name them whatever we want. So there might not be a consistency in specific programs if you're looking for something. And then where do you want to go to school? It's not just a geographic preference, and that might be determined by if you like warm weather or cold weather. But is it in an urban setting or a rural setting or a small town? How far is the closest airport? How easy will it be for you to get home when you want to get home? The size of the university is going to make a difference. And so you need to do your research on how easy is it to access your professors? Will you even be taught by professors? Are you being taught by a graduate student? What if you want to do research? Is that open to undergraduate students? So asking all these different questions can help you narrow down your choices. I mean, there are 4,000 universities in the US, and you have multiple universities within the Next Genius program. So asking all these questions will help you really narrow things down. More questions to ask yourself would include, what does it look like outside of the classroom at this university? What can you get involved in? What are the dorms like? You are going to spend more hours per week outside of the classroom than in. Now, granted, a lot of that time will be spent doing homework, but what are the spaces like where you can do homework? Is there going to be a place that you can go that will be quiet to get away from the dorm? What does the dorm look like? What kind of facilities are offered at the university? One really important question at US universities is, if you are, and my example here is drama and theater, if you are not a theater major, can you still try out for the play? Can you still help build sets? Could you still be in the orchestra, in the pit orchestra for the musical? All of those things would be important. If the university says, nope, only drama majors can be in the play, but you love theater and you're a physics major, You know, all of those pieces might play into thinking about, is this the right fit for me as a university? Will I be happy there? And then of course you need to talk about finances with your family. Obviously you'll be looking at scholarships, that's why you're here. But you know, what are all the different numbers that you need to think about when you're thinking about education overseas? So here's some do's and don'ts. It's always very eye-opening to ask people in your life, where did you go to university? Why did you choose that university? Now, whether they went to university in India or elsewhere, just ask. And you might think that you understand why or where your parents may have gone to university, but maybe they have some interesting insights for you on that. And that doesn't mean you have to go to that same university, but just start to understand the process of how other people chose where they went. That said, don't just apply to a university because somebody else did. Your big sibling, your friend, they are a different person than you. They have a different fit university than you might have. Look up schools that you've heard of. You always know university names that are sort of out there all the time. Anytime somebody is talking about US universities, and definitely look into schools you've heard of, but then don't assume that just because you've heard of that school that it will be a good fit for you. Just like you're probably through Next Genius, you may never have heard of Transylvania before, you may never have heard of TCU before, but now you've heard of us, and hopefully you are doing your research into us as well. So do kind of click around and explore these universities you've never heard of, and then be honest with yourself about which one might look like a good fit, and keep asking questions. So these are some really good search engines to try to sort of narrow your lists down. Each one of these is a sort of filter-based, quiz-based system where you sort of enter different, you answer questions and then they sort of give you some results. But look at the quotes for each page. They are using the same term that we're talking about right now. So niche says, find the school that fits you best. College Board says, find the right college for you. Princeton Review says, find your fit. And Peterson says, it's not about the best college, it's about the best college for you. So all of these are good ways to just find out some more information about various universities. And if, again, like the best way, once you sort of narrow things down, is to go to that university's website, reach out to the admissions counselors, talk to your Next Genius team to really get the specific information. Oh, I just said this. So here are some more things you can do. And of course, social media is always a great way to see what students are doing. Often we have students doing social media takeovers to give you some insights into their experiences and what it's actually like on the campus. Now, keep in mind that you can only attend one university. So as long as a list might be, you're really gonna still have to narrow it down somehow to figure out what that final university is going to be. So keep that conversation going with your family, keep that conversation going with us and with your Next Genius team. And that's it for me. I talk fast, sorry. So we'll